Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Dr. Ghost and today we're going to be taking a look at Season 42 of Ranked. Yeah, that's right. So in this video in particular, we're going to be highlighting mainly the Budyonny and what the ship is potentially capable of. We're going to show you guys what she's like in port, what she has in her arsenal, and then we'll show you some gameplay later on. So stay tuned. It is actually a pretty decent little game, so stick around. But anyway, the commander we are running is Nikolai Kuznetsov. We have Karl von Mueller and Francesco Membelli as inspirations because Francesco Membelli decreases the reload by about 5%. Karl von Mueller increases our speed by about 4%. His base trait is Follow the Sun, which increases our main battery range currently by 5.7. We've got Burn It Down XXL. I usually put on Beyond Range, but since the ranked maps are currently kind of small, you really don't need Beyond Range at the moment. I'm running Igniter as well, just for that extra fire chance. However, you could put on Intuitive to get your sonar and your radar to last longer, and to also highlight the closest ship to you. I'm running Punch Through to get a little bit more AP potential here, because I do actually like the AP on the Russians, especially this ship in particular, man. It's really good. I'll show you guys later in the gameplay portion. It's going to be a pretty damn good game. We've got Fixated as well, which increases our main battery shell grouping and decreases our main battery dispersion, which helps. And we've got Fully Packed, so we can get more radars, more sonars, etc. So you could also put on Refill Station to get the reload down. However, I prefer Fully Packed, just so I can get that extra radar and that extra sonar. So he's Legendary 3, rank 16 in my build. Now, there's some other ships you guys could go in Ranked. I would not recommend going Genevi or Bavoy or anything like that, but there's some pretty good picks. I'm going to highlight some. So, first main pick on my list, I actually have to go to the store because I don't own it, but the first pick, if you're a destroyer guy, okay, if you're a destroyer man, T61, where is that baby at? T61 is a must-go. T61 is fantastic, mainly because she gets access to sonar, and that sonar smoke combo can really be freaking nice. She's also got pretty damn good torpedoes, quick reloading torpedoes, not to mention, and she's also got pretty good guns as well. So overall, T61's a solid choice. She's got good torps to torp things. She's got good sonar to you know, smoke up in and potentially counter destroyers. And this ship right here is a very good cap contester and what have you. Another really good pick for cruisers would be, obviously, we're already going over the Budyonny in this video, but some other good cruisers I would recommend is maybe the Nuremberg. The only downside with the Nuremberg is it's a very long ship and she's got a big citadel. So you got to be careful about that. But she has 6 torpedoes per side, and she gets access to that lovely, lovely German sonar. And since it's the German cruiser sonar, it's even better. 5.3 kilometer detection of ships, which is unbelievable for a cruiser. So that extra sonar, or that extra sonar range, is super helpful. Another good cruiser, obviously. I wouldn't say any of these, but if we go also to the store again, I don't have it, but if we go to the store again and we take a look at the British heavy cruisers, I'm passing it here, Ghost. Anyway, Exeter, man. Exeter, fantastic cruiser for Ranked. She's got, of course, very good sonar as well. Almost German-esque sonar. 5.1 kilometer detectability of ships, 3.6 kilometer detectability of torpedoes. She's also got pretty damn good 8-inch guns. Another ship that's pretty good, I almost forgot, for Ranked, is for Tier 5 Ranked anyway, right? These are all Tier 5 ships, but we're talking about Tier 5 Ranked, is the Graf Spee. Another pretty good option. I don't like the Graf Spee mainly because the guns are just too damn big and I overpen a lot of things, but she's a great option. She's got 4 torpedoes per side, and she also has, once again, German sonar, so we all know how good that is. But yeah, Graf Spee, pretty tough. She's basically like a battle cruiser, if you think about it. She's got cruiser speed, cruiser sort of maneuverability, or heavy cruiser maneuverability, but she's got really crunchy armor, and overall, Graf Spee's a good solid pick. And another good option is for battleships, obviously. There's a lot of good battleships, but the main two, obviously, Warspite, fantastic ship to take out for ranked. Queen Elizabeth, fantastic options here, mainly because their guns, they're super consistent. The guns on them, 15-inch guns, they smack so hard. And man, oh man, Warspite, I fucking love them. If I had to go battleships, it's a toss-up between Warspite or, if we head over to the Japanese, it's a toss-up between the Warspite and nothing but the Hyuga, man. Warspite, Hyuga, two very solid options. But if you don't have any premium ships, Queen Elizabeth is pretty damn good. Bayern's pretty good as well. You get 15-inch guns in Bayern. Mackinson, I almost forgot to mention, also is pretty decent because, once again, this ship gets German sonar, so there you go, on a battleship. Pretty interesting. But there's a lot of fun picks you guys can play with. Obviously, if you want to just go full-out gunboat build, Mayhan is also here as well. Mayhan is a phenomenal gunboat. Not very good at torpedoing, but she is a good gunboat. Honestly, this would be another great option if you are going gunboat destroyers and cap contesting or what have you. So, anyway, enough jibber-jabber. And we've been going off for about 6 minutes about potential ships you guys can play in this rank season. Just a little bit of my advice, or a little bit of, like, I guess, recommendations, if you will. So, hopefully, maybe that might help some of you guys out. But nonetheless, I'm going to bring you guys over to the main highlight of today's video, that being the gameplay portion with the Budyonny. So, I hope you all do enjoy it. And, yeah, I'll see you all there. Okay, so here we are in the Budyonny, and yeah, this is going to be the main highlight of today's video. And, you know, this is one of those cruisers that I do definitely like to take out in a ranked setting, like in a competitive setting, rather. Mainly because this ship gets access to radar. Now, it's not the greatest radar in the world. It's about, like, an 8-kilometer radar, and the duration is only, like, 15 seconds. But you can get a couple shots off in that time, and it can provide some uses as well. Now, also, the Budyonny has access to sonar. It's not the greatest sonar in the world, but it can help, right? Especially on these close quarters maps, with this ranked season in particular, Season 42. Just like the last season, it was these kind of maps as well. And I actually do like these maps. It does kind of, you know, affect some of the sort of positioning plays, because like concealment really just doesn't matter on these maps unless you're like a destroyer. So like you really, like as a battleship or as a cruiser, building for concealment or like positioning really just doesn't matter as much because these maps are so close quarters. Like kiting around basically is not an option. Disengaging quickly and turning around really not an option on these medium to smaller maps. These are more compact maps, basically forcing you to get into a position and stay there, basically. So you got to really be thinking like that, thinking ahead, and really being careful and preserving your hit points. Now, there's an island, luckily, right here between me and this cap here. So that's great, and we're going to be able to sit behind it. Now, what's also great is this Fubuki. Or it's not a Fubuki, I think it's a Hatsuharu. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but I know it's a Japanese destroyer, and he's actually putting up a smoke screen, which is pretty nice. And we did pop our sonar, and we did pop our radar. Now, we have the Ramat here spotted. We also have the destroyer spotted. He's in the he's coming into the Alpha Cap. Now, our destroyer is turning away, which is the right plan here. He's getting shot at, so he's trying to disengage, because he can actually do that. Now, we have a broadside shot here at this enemy Ramat here. We just took a shot right after he went unspotted, and we still managed to get 4 penetrations, 2 overpens, and a citadel. And just like that, we're up to 10,000 damage. Now, the smoke firing penalty, not very good on the Budyonny, so right now we are currently spotted because this Anshan is basically YOLOing in. And he is dead. That's huge. Their destroyer is already dead, and our destroyer is barely alive. So that right there is a big trade. It wasn't even a trade. We just took out his destroyer, or their destroyer, and there you go. That's basically setting us up to win this game. Spoiler alert. Whoever basically, guys, to put it all up into a big summary of ranked, whoever kills their destroyers first wins. Like whoever kills whoever's destroyers first basically has free reign over the game. So we just killed their only destroyer, and that basically is going to set us up to win this game in the end. That's huge. So being able to, as a Budyonny, to get up here, pop that radar, pop that sonar, and take some shots at the enemy destroyers and help, of course, spot those destroyers for your battleships to shoot them, that's huge. You know, that's freaking huge. I can't emphasize that enough. So Anyway, we got somebody also, we got somebody on his own over at Bravo. It's a Duca d'Aosta, and we know the Duca d'Aosta is a pretty dangerous threat, mainly because it's got some pretty nice guns. It's got 152 millimeter guns. Now, they're pretty average size for the tier. They're not anything big. They're only 6-inch guns. But what I'm mainly worried about from the Duca d'Aosta is his SAP. If he can manage to get into a good position and just lob out loads of SAP, that would be very unfortunate. Now we did just you know, speaking of unfortunate, we did just actually sneak a Citadel into that Ramat, and that's pretty hilarious. As you guys can see, the penetration angles on these armor-piercing rounds are pretty good. They're only 6-inch guns, and yet they feel like they've got the penetration of like maybe 7 or 8-inch guns. They're pretty damn good. They're very good at hitting broadsides. And they don't overpen as much because they're only 6-inch guns. They're not super big. So they've got just enough penetration to potentially pop the citadels of cruisers, but they've got just enough penetration to not overpen them either. So it's really helpful. This thing absolutely eats up broadside cruisers. Now, this Duca d'Aosta is currently angled, so what we're doing is we're loading high explosive because, well, he's angled, and he's actually going pretty quick, so we're not able to hit him. Well, we only hit him with 1 shell, actually, on that second salvo there after we swapped over from the AP to the HE. But thus far, we've done pretty good. We've taken out their destroyer. Check. Boom. That's fantastic. We've got one of the caps. That's good. It'd be nice if we can get the second. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get myself into a position here to take some shots on this Duca d'Aosta and potentially kill him and maybe head on over to their cap. At this point, we are nearly 200 points ahead. We don't need to be overly aggressive here. We're winning the game on points. Crazy, right? So really, just playing the caps, guys, taking out the destroyers is ultimately what wins you games. And doing anything else you can as well without, of course, throwing your ships away. So that's exactly what we're doing. Now, we have another radar ready, so we go ahead and pop it. And we are able to actually get some AP loaded and potentially absolutely destroy this guy. Because remember, this thing has very good AP, and he's backing out broadside. I don't know what the hell he's thinking. Now, I think I did also just knock out his engine, so he's not able to go from stop to start, basically to get forwards and get into cover. He's basically screwed here. He can't move, and, well, down he goes. That's 2 more citadels add to our collection, and that's 3 ships down on the enemy team. We haven't lost a single ship yet. That's fantastic. Our destroyer has done pretty good up to this point. He got into the cap. He gave me a smoke screen, which was more than generous. And he almost died, but he is still alive. And he's actually doing his job, and he's going to hopefully wrap around and head on over to the Bravo cap with me, which is great. Now, what we're trying to do here is we're trying to get some fires on this Hyuga. He's currently not even looking at me. He's looking at our battleships behind us, so we're just going to be able to get some shots on target and set some fires, just like that, and while we're sailing over to the Bravo cap. So, that's pretty good. But yeah, guys, basically ranked is you just got to play smart. You got to play for the caps. You got to take out that enemy destroyer whenever it gets spotted, or destroyers in future rank seasons. You guys have to take out that destroyer. I can't emphasize that enough. Whoever loses their destroyers first is usually the team who loses the game. So it usually just all stems down from that. It's taking out that destroyer and, you know, doing everything else you can after that. So that's extremely important, guys. Killing that destroyer basically is your #1 job in ranked. Or just you need to get that DD off the board. And once you do that, it opens a whole, you know, plethora of opportunities for your team. So anyway, let me know in the comments below what you guys think of the Budyonny. Will you guys be taking her out for ranked, or are you guys just going to be, you know, playing a different ship? Let me know what you're going to be going, what you're going to be running and going in this rank season. I'm actually kind of curious in hearing what you guys have to say there. Whatever you guys are going to be running in this rank season. So, me personally, I'm probably going to be using Budyonny. I'm probably going to be using Mayhem. And if I use battleships, it's going to be a toss-up between the good old Hyuga and, of course, the Warspite. 2 fantastic battleships. We talked about that earlier in the video. But there's a lot of good options at Tier 5. Tier 5 is a great tier, and I freaking love it, man. I freaking love it. Now, what I also love is broadside Hyugas at 4.5 kilometers, and we just got a couple pens, and actually we got a couple over pens, which is hilarious. And he actually did get a salvo off right before he died, and he almost absolutely destroyed us. But luckily for us, we're okay. So we're going to be able to come around this corner here and mess around with this New Mexico. We've got really nothing else better to do. We're going to win this game, so I'm like, screw it, YOLO, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We're just going to come around here and YOLO. Now, we don't have torpedoes, unfortunately, loaded on the port side. Notice the New Mexico did fire off a salvo, so he's not even going to be able to shoot us. And I'm hoping that I get a shot off right about there into his bow. Unfortunately, we do not take him out, but that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is pretty much game, man. But yeah, not a bad game whatsoever in the Budyonny. Like, the radar, the sonar combo, not too bad, man, for Tier 5 ranked. 2.2k pays XP, high caliber, we'll frickin' take it. But let me know in the comments below what you guys think of the Budyonny. Let me know what you're going to be running in this rank season. And nonetheless, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace out, stay healthy, as always.